From spending 24 hours straight in the ice, to surviving a day on a deserted island with nothing under his belt, here are the deadliest challenges that Mr. Beast has survived. We start with the least to the most dangerous challenge, so sit tight. And starting off with a challenge you won't believe was actually done by this guy.
I am going to spend the next 24 hours in this house made 100% of ice. It's gonna be cold because it's ice. Ice! Ice!
One of Mr. Beast's most perilous challenges was the Ice Block Challenge. In this video, Mr. Beast and his friends attempted to survive inside a block of ice for as long as possible. The goal was simple but daunting. Survive the cold temperatures and claustrophobic circumstances without succumbing to hypothermia.
I have no idea how long I've been in here, but the cold is definitely starting to get to me. I just feel cold. I don't know how else to put it.
The ice blocks were created with small air gaps to prevent suffocation, and emergency medical personnel were available throughout the experience. Despite these precautions, the challenge was strenuous. The intense cold made their bodies tremble uncontrollably, and the cramped quarters challenged their mental fortitude.
Goodness, it is so cold. My snot keeps dripping into my mouth. Disgusting! Why do I do these things?
Although he tried his best to stay in the ice house, it was visibly difficult for him, and he just couldn't be there, especially in the last few hours of the challenge.
The last few hours were the hardest by far. I'm so close to being done, but every part of my body wants to get out now.
After several hours, Mr. Beast emerged from the ice blocks, clearly scared but victorious. This exercise highlighted not just the physical dangers of extreme cold, but also the mental strength required to persevere under such conditions. But that was nothing compared to what I am about to share with you. We all know that it's not just about having fun with friends and giving away food and money. Sometimes Mr. Beast goes full jackass and does something really stupid and dangerous, like he did here. This was a challenge where he tried to spend a full day underwater, and guess what? Things didn't go as expected.
I'm going to attempt to sit underwater for 24 hours straight.
He sat at the bottom of a backyard pool, using a bucket to breathe. Unfortunately, things became a bit too hazardous.
I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but...
Jimmy went into the water around 11:30 a.m. and had to emerge around 12 hours later due to terrible seasickness. At the end of the video, a distressed Jimmy states bluntly, "This was a horrible idea." Yeah, but then again, all the best physical challenges are.
The pads on my fingers are so, like, they feel so weird.
This was a horrible idea. I would really not recommend any of you guys do this. I have a massive freaking headache.
Now the underwater challenge was probably the craziest and most dangerous thing that Mr. Beast has ever done. Until this, the Buried Alive Challenge. Mr. Beast was buried in a coffin underground for 50 hours, with only a little tube for air and communication. The psychological and physical risks were enormous, including claustrophobia, oxygen deprivation, and the possibility of structural failure in the coffin or surrounding ground.
Oh dear God!
I heard Carl yell, "Here it comes," so I assume something's about to happen.
Now you see, it wasn't just an ordinary coffin, and Mr. Beast's safety was ensured with extensive procedures. The coffin was carefully engineered to resist the pressure of the earth above, and a team of medical professionals kept track of his condition around the clock. Emergency evacuation procedures were in place in case something went wrong. Despite these precautions, the challenge was terrible. The cramped quarters and seclusion immediately took a psychological toll, with Mr. Beast experiencing extreme claustrophobia and anxiety. The lack of natural light and fresh air exacerbated these effects, making the 50 hours feel interminable.
How do you feel after being in underground for 24 hours?
My back hurts, I'm starting to feel claustrophobic, bored out of my mind. I smell pretty bad.
Throughout the challenge, Mr. Beast talked with the others, updating them on his status and getting support. Despite the great physical and psychological strain, he made it through the entire 50 hours, emerging from the coffin with a sense of relief and triumph. Despite how hard the challenge was, it really emphasized on the serious psychological and physical consequences of excessive confinement and isolation.
Seriously, it's been 50 hours buried alive. It's been 50 hours! Get me out of here!
Despite the cozy amenities, the challenge proved a little too daunting. While Jimmy was successful, it came at the expense of his physical and mental comfort. When he finally emerged amid tears of gratitude, he had a horrible headache, was starving, and reportedly smelled terrible. Now moving on to a challenge where he literally had to spend his entire day in a haunted place. Spending 24 hours in a reputedly haunted house was a test of physical endurance and psychological horror. The fear of the unknown, along with the spooky ambiance, created a unique and horrifying spin on the survival challenge.
Lord, please help me. Oh, dude, it's going the F off.
Yeah, well, keep going, follow it.
Oh my God.
We just went in a circle.
The haunted house was chosen due to its reputation for paranormal activity. Mr.Beast and his buddies arrived in the house with little supplies, including basic survival gear and recording equipment to film their experiences.
This is interesting.
Guys, I think I just saw a person. I'm leaving.
The psychological tension was intense. Strange noises, creaking flooring, and an ominous atmosphere fueled their concerns and increased their uneasiness. Sleep deprivation and a continual state of alertness increased the physical and mental strain.
Oh my God, no!
After 24 hours in the scary mansion, Mr. Beast and his pals escaped, disturbed but unscathed. This test demonstrated their ability to cope with great psychological stress and the power of the human mind to overcome fear. But how about spending 24 hours on a deserted island? Must be crucial, right? But guess what? That's what Mr. Beast was all about in this particular challenge. Mr. Beast set out to test his survival skills in isolation by surviving 24 hours on a desolate island. With no contemporary comforts and limited supplies, he had to rely solely on his own resources and the natural surroundings to get through the day and night.
This is a deserted island with 0 inhabitants, and we're gonna spend 24 hours straight here.
Upon landing, the first priority was to obtain fresh water. Mr. Beast purified water from natural sources using basic filtration procedures to ensure its safety for consumption. The next step was to build a shelter out of available materials like palm fronds and branches to provide protection from the weather.
Children, gather around for another clue.
Food was scarce, so Mr. Beast had to scavenge for edible plants and try fishing using homemade gear. The absence of sufficient sustenance made energy conservation critical, pushing him to balance exertion and relaxation. The seclusion and lack of communication with the outside world added a psychological component to the struggle. The lack of human interaction and contemporary amenities challenged Mr. Beast's mental fortitude, making the 24 hours feel much longer.
I'm so tired from swimming and all this stuff that I just don't feel like moving.
Despite the difficulties, Mr. Beast finished the test, displaying his capacity to adapt and exist in a primitive setting. This event underlined the significance of fundamental survival skills, as well as the mental fortitude required to tolerate alone. But probably the most deadliest thing that Mr. Beast and his pals did was to stay on Bermuda Triangle for 24 hours. Yes, you heard me right. Now we all know that Bermuda Triangle is also known as the Devil's Triangle, and many incidents have taken place there, including ships and planes getting disappeared for never coming back or to be seen again. But nothing was going to stop Mr. Beast and his fellows from this adventurous yet deadly thing.
We're actually currently in the Bermuda Triangle. The boys aren't really doing too well. We're all seasick beyond belief. Oh, this water's killing me.
Of course, what started as a thrilling and adventurous stunt started to turn into a nightmare when things suddenly started to go in a weird direction. Everybody started to feel sick, and things didn't really turn out the way they were anticipated in the first place.
Wait, guys.
Dude, where's Chandler?
I swear he was there the whole time.
During the challenge, there was one creepy thing that happened that one can expect to happen when they're in the Bermuda Triangle. While filming, one of their cameras fell into the sea, and it was never found again.
Oh, what happened?
The big time-lapse camera fell into the water, so we're gonna try and rescue it.
Please rescue it. Please.
We're trying.
Shine light on Chris, shine light on Chris.
But that was not the only strange thing that happened during the challenge. During the night, the team reported hearing unusual noises from the ocean and surrounding area. These sounds range from distant crying to mechanical humming, creating an unsettling mood and putting everyone on edge.
Guys, I just heard something. I gotta find somebody. What the freak was that? Hello? Jake. What?
Of course, that was something none of the crew members ever wanted to do again, and probably they agree with that too.
We're heading back. It's a little wavy.
I'm about to throw up.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Let us know what are your thoughts on it in the comments below. If you'd like to watch more of our videos, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon to never miss out on any update. See you next time.